Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. It is that time of the year once again. It is State of the Collection season. I've got a lot to cover and I'm hoping to do so within 3 videos. I'm putting these under a State of the Collection playlist so that you can find them easily. In tonight's video, we're going to be going over my shelf watches. These are watches that don't have a home in a watch box. I'm just going to show you the pieces and talk a little bit about them. If you want to see wrist shots of any particular watch, let me know in the comments below. And I'll do a follow-up wrist shot only video of all the pieces that you request. Alright, so let's begin with my swatches. First up, we have a pop swatch that I got from my cousin. And I already did some work on the crystal, so it's looking a lot better. I just need to get a battery for it. But this is a fun piece. Maybe get a little bit of wrist time during the summer when I'm in a weird mood. At some point I want to get one of the cool black and skeletonized pop swatches and track down an all-black strap for it, just because they're so weird. This is a new gents swatch that I got for my wife as a gift, so this one isn't going anywhere. It does need a battery, and you'll find that that's a case with a few of my quartz watches. I just need to track down what batteries they take and buy some packs of them. But these new gents swatches are pretty big. I think they're 42 or 43 millimeters. So I don't really wear them, but here is another new gents swatch. And I'll probably be selling this one and the third one that I own. I have this on a cool, unique strap that I tracked down somewhere. I forget where now. It was a while ago. I mean, they look amazing, but they're just so huge. And here we have the last of my new gents swatches. As you can see, I love transparent swatches. They're super fun, but they do turn yellow after a while. Here we have a gent size version of that last watch, and this one is a keeper. I got this from squiggly.com back when it was squiggly.com. I forget the site's new name, but every time I go there, they have 0 swatches, so I think they sold off their entire supply. This watch is really cool. And it's on one of my favorite straps. I remember these from when Swatches first came out. I think most of my swatches back then were on these. This is one of my most recent Swatch purchases. Such a cool swatch. And it's also on the fun strap. Yeah, this swatch is cool. I have the first Turquoise Bay that I purchased, but this one does not work. It just kind of randomly stops. And I'm not sure what strap this is. It's not the ribbed one that these usually come on. This might be the strap my second Turquoise Bay came on. It's vintage, you can tell by feeling it. It's kind of sticky a little. So, yeah, it's kind of decaying a little bit. I love these swatches, but they're spendy for an old swatch, and I have not had luck with them yet. Here is my second Turquoise Bay, and as you can see, it's actually ticking. So it has been running fairly well. It does stop here and there, so it has lost about 3 minutes over the past week. But what I did is I folded up a little square of tinfoil and put it inside the battery hatch, between the hatch and the battery. But I think I need to make that a little bit thicker. so that it can kind of push the battery a little bit more firmly against the contact. This has a broken little latch there, but the other two are doing okay, so I'll try a little bit thicker tinfoil square, and that might get this watch reliably running. And if so, I'm going to try it on the other, and I might just have 2 turquoise bays. The yellowing on this one is a lot darker than the other one, so it makes the crystal look a bit darker as well, but I kind of like it that way. And I have this on a black ribbed strap. I like this style with the ribbing here, but I find the contrast of the black against that yellow and turquoise just makes this color pop much more than the gray does. Another cool swatch that I got from Squiggly. All the swatches I got from them were in such great shape. Although later on, I noticed that even with those ones, there was some cracking and breaking of this little point right here. But I remember when I first got this, I was stoked at how Tron it looked. The new Tron, of course. Here is a swatch that I inherited. And this one is just so clean. I like it. It's a mystery dial. Mystery dials are super fun, and it has the crazy date window and bubble way over here between the 10 and 11. But the black and white dial, yeah. It's a little bit more straight-laced than my other swatches, as are the last ones we're going to look at. This swatch I got as a gift from my wife a few years ago, and it is amazing. It's Bauhaus style, such a great font on there. And it's blue, a departure from my usual black. Very cool. And the last swatch is the most recent swatch that I've gotten. This was also a gift from my mother-in-law this time. And I asked for this to be kind of matchy-matchy with my wife's that looks very similar to this, only it is itty-bitty because it's a ladies swatch. This one has that same amazing font, kind of Bauhaus-y. Very cool. And I think these newer swatches, because this was purchased brand new, I think their crystals are a little bit more boxy than the vintage ones. You can really only tell if you have a new one and a vintage one side by side. And it looks like it's just a little bit taller. Very cool. Alright, so that's all the swatches. I'm not really going to show broken or head-only watches, with a couple exceptions. My Satina is currently on the shelf because I need to get a strap for it. I think this is 20 millimeters wide, and I just don't have any really nice dress straps at 20 millimeters. Most of mine are 18, so I just need to purchase one for this. Also, my Projects watch is currently on the shelf. I'm going to send it into their watchmaker. I was quoted $20 for having the hands put back on because I accidentally popped them loose when I was changing the battery. This dial is fixed in place, so when you're changing the battery, if the movement lifts up, these hands pop off. So I will be getting this one repaired. The Hamilton that was a gift to the channel is also currently on the shelf. I took it into my local watch battery guy, and he was going to look at the contacts for me, but when it came back, it was even worse. So now there's nothing on the display. This does work though, like When I got it back, it was blank like this, and I found that it turned on after a couple days, and when I pushed this button, it was doing something, but it made it blank again. This one is sticking a bit, so I may have to hunt down a new module for this watch. It would be cool to get it working. So those are the two exceptions. This watch here just needs a battery and a cleaning because these set buttons don't work very well. I think they're gunked up. So I need to either take this to a jewelry store and have them put it in a sonic cleaner or something like that, or clean it myself. One of those two. But this is a battery eater. It will drain a battery so fast it's not even funny. And actually it takes 2 batteries, so it will probably rarely have a battery in it, but it would be nice to be able to wear it when I do want to put a battery in there. I have the Reader's Digest watch, which looks surprisingly great for a promotional watch that's really affordable. But I have this one because my dad gave me one of these, and I didn't have a case back press at the time, or even realize that was a thing. And when he gave it to me, the case back was off. So I tried everything to try and put that on, and in the course of doing that, I broke the crystal, and I felt really bad. So I went online and found a similar one and told him the horror story of what I did to the other one, but that it was so cool looking, I got another one. I have the Wolf Notch watch. This was a gift to the channel from the company with no strings attached, which was really cool of them. This is the only gift from a watch brand. This is their first attempt at a mechanical watch. I think they specialize in like really sporty smartwatch stuff. I think they have 2 models, this and their smartwatch. And I mean, this isn't bad for a first attempt. It's a bit thick, and I would have done the dial a bit differently without the gears cut out of it. But, you know, first try, not too terrible. But yeah, it was a gift, so this will always be in my collection, at least for the foreseeable future. I also currently have the Hamilton Bolton on the shelf, and the reason this watch is on a shelf is because now that I own the Longines Dolce Vita, I feel like this might need to go to a home where it'll get more love. The Dolce Vita just fills that spot in my collection so perfectly. I wear that watch a lot and don't really wear this one anymore. I mean, that crystal is amazing. The way it curves like this along your wrist is phenomenal. It's a great watch, but yeah, I think it needs to go to a home where it'll get some wrist time. So I just had the battery professionally changed on it. Since I'm planning on selling it, I didn't want to mess with it myself. And yep, this will get listed soon. Alright, so now we're getting into my tech and sci-fi watches. And these will wrap up this installation of my State of the Collection. This is the F91W. I bought this a few years ago at Walmart. I think it was $20, so a little bit more than the $15 you usually hear about, but still super affordable. Such a great little watch. And I have it set to chime on the hour, so I get to hear it beeping all day long. I also have the Back to the Future Casio. I always forget its reference and have to look it up every time. I got this one as a gift for my brother. Perfect Christmas gift idea because they're so affordable. And such a fun watch. This one also chimes on the hour, and the time is not set quite the same as the F91, so there's a whole lot of beeping throughout the day. These watches are just super cool. Every now and then I give them some wrist time just because they're so fun. We have the Fossil Stark watch, which was dead for a long time because I could not figure out what battery goes with this. Fossil doesn't know either. I contacted them. They had no idea. They have no manuals that say what goes in it. So I took it to the mall watch guy and he tracked down the battery, but the display is messed up. You can see how the tops of the numbers are missing. I mean, right now you can read it, but most of the time it looks like it's Klingon or something, which is kind of cool given the appearance of this watch, but it has become nothing more than a bracelet. And we have my crazy binary watch. This is a huge beast, but it's so sci-fi, it looks amazing being large like that. And this is the advanced user version of this because you'll notice that this is kind of mirrored. So you can't see the little cheat numbers in there for adding up the binary values. You have to just guess what they are, and oh, this looks weird on my camera because of the frame rate. Wild. Those are not flickering in real life. If they are when I render this. In my preview, they're going crazy. I've owned this watch for years and have yet to have to change the battery. This is amazingly efficient. I mean, I think it's been 6 or 7 years maybe? Something crazy like that, and it's still going. But yeah, this watch looks amazing on the shelf. And one of my most functional sci-fi watches is my Nixon. This is the ladies variant, so it's actually a decent size. The men's is just huge. This is like normal person size. Really comfortable strap on these. Cool blue light. And it just looks so tech. They're kind of difficult to change the battery on because you have to unscrew this from both sides at the same time so that you can release the case back after you unscrew it. So, fun times when this dies. I lied, I am going to show you another dead watch. Sadly, when I tried to change the battery on this one, the contacts fell out and I cannot for the life of me get them back in to where it works. So this has also become a crazy looking sci-fi bracelet. When it did work, the minutes were down here, hours were up here in those digital displays, and a whopping third battery controlled this, quote, seconds wheel here, which would tick around. Yeah. These watches take a battery for this display and this one. Crazy. But it looks like Space Mountain. And sadly, this needs a battery. But I have done a full review of it, so you can see it in action there. But this is one of my favorite sci-fi watches that I own because it looks so Robotech to me. It looks like it would just come right out of that cartoon. I could totally see this on one of the characters' wrists in there. Yeah, this colorway is super fun. I don't know if you can get it anymore. I think they still sell different colorways of this particular line, but not this fun fluorescent green. When there's a battery in there, it'll show the wave table visually as kind of a graph, or you can change it to display it numerically, which looks super tech also. So there you have it, all of my shelf watches. Keep your eyes open for the next State of the Collection video where we start digging into some watch boxes. Thanks for watching.